Unmuted. Well, welcome everyone. So whether you're joining us live or you're watching the recording, we want to thank you so much for coming to learn about our Ascension Cellars Wine Lovers Cruise in March 6th of 2026. And I know that seems a long way away, but it'll be here before you know it. We are Suzanne and Steve Clausen, and we are the owners of CruiseOne in Show Low, Arizona. So here's a quick look at our agenda tonight. We're going to introduce our agency, and then I'm going to introduce Erick, who's going to talk a little bit about his winery and how he got into winemaking. And you're still on mute, Erick, so you'll need to unmute yourself when it's your turn. But we're going to tell you a little bit about that, and then just explain exactly what a wine cruise is, because it is a lot of fun. So if you're new to my agency, maybe you found us through the advertising or the email that Lisa sent out, or referred to be by friends. I really want you to feel comfortable with entrusting me with your cruise booking. I do take pride in taking extra special care of all my clients, and you're never just a transaction. Some of my strongest relationships, friendships have developed because of the with me and my clients, with repeats and referrals. And like I said, I really take this job very seriously and want to make sure that your dream vacation is fulfilled by going on one of our cruises. Steve and I are avid travelers. We travel all over the world, and we are so lucky because the internet is so good on cruise ships now that we can basically run our business from anywhere in the world. And we're a proactive agency. We actively seek out special pricing and cruises that we think will appeal to our clients and put them together. So these wine cruises are an example of that. Why use a travel agent? And in particular, my travel agency, well, I work on my clients' behalf. I have lots of training experience. I've been doing this for 12 years. There is a cruise line to fit every style and budget, and I'm here to match you up with the perfect one. And I'll tell you the best kept secret in travel. You will not pay any more going through a travel agent. And in the case of this cruise, I have better pricing than if you just went on celebritykruises.com and booked your cruise. Also, you would not get our wonderful group amenities, which are the wine program. I'm easy to reach. You can text me, phone call me, email me nearly 24/7. I do have to sleep sometimes, but the best part is that I work for you, my clients, and I get paid by the cruise lines. So we've done a lot of group cruises. These are some pictures from the one we just did in April with Ascension Cellars. It was a fantastic time. We had such a good time sailing with your group and sharing that travel experience with everyone. It almost seems like a family reunion when we come back and do these cruises. And it's always so nice to meet new people that are doing the wine cruises with us for the first time. So I'm going to let Erick take over and talk about his wine and his winemaking experience. And then I'll answer the question. We'll talk about Erick and I both will talk about the 4 exclusive wine tasting events that are only for people in my group. So take it away, Erick.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erick Allen, Principal Winemaker of Ascension Cellars. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Super excited to have you all here. And I know that this cruise is going to be something really special. It's off in March, but we are just so delighted to be able to basically share this experience with you. My favorite thing about cruising is that we get this time together to really get to know each other, and so to bond and make friendships that we feel lifelong. And so I'm really looking forward to it. For me, when it comes to wine and winemaking, it's all about sustainability, making clean wines that are not only beautiful upon release, but will age extremely well. And so that's the real testament of what it is that we do. We are really conscious about the environment, and we try to put more back into the soil than we take away from it. Just to give you an example, our water use is 2 to 1. So for every 1 gallon of wine, we use about 2 gallons of water. And the average winery is more of a 20 to 1 ratio. So we really strive to literally do the best job that we can every single day. I am just so delighted to have you here and really looking forward to our cruise. We are going to have some very special seminars and breaking out a bunch of library wines and a few other things. Also, if you sign up for the cruise between now and December, we're going to have a special discount code that'll give you 50% off of all the wines. So we've never offered a
Awesome.
discount like that before. So it's something that literally we're just doing for people who sign up between now and December. And so that'll give you 15% or 50% off on the wine September through the end of December to January 1. So we're really excited to be able to offer that just, as a special thanks. And we know that it's a ways out, but we really think we wanted to reward you just for your participation. So thank you. And thank you for being
Erick,
here.
I might be taking advantage of that.
You will absolutely have to.
So let's talk a little bit about what our Wine Lovers Cruise is. Celebrity loves groups, so they give me this opportunity to build this fun experience exclusively for my clients. We're going to have 4 wine tasting events. I have discounted group rates, and our agency really specializes in bringing wine enthusiasts together with winemakers to share that experience. And we get a lot of interaction. It's a lot of fun at our tasting events because everybody kind of sniffs and compares and tastes and gives opinions about what they like and what they don't like. So we've had the pleasure of coordinating several of these wine tasting cruises over the last 12 years that we've been in business, and exotic places as far as ways France and Antarctica, but we're super excited to return to the warm Caribbean for this one. These islands in the Southern Caribbean are absolutely beautiful, and we're going to show you some more about them a little bit later. So again, that chance to sail with like-minded wine enthusiasts. Erick is going to be there to present his wines. We will ship the wines actually to the ship, and he will actually have his wines for us to enjoy. That's what makes that celebrity wine program for their group so special, because they facilitate that. And we're limited to about 110 guests. We want to try to maybe push that up a little bit because the facilities on this ship will accommodate a little bit more. But on a ship about 2,800, we're a group within a group, no more than like 120, 130 guests within our group. And it makes it a lot of fun, and our events very intimate. So talk about our group amenities. So all of our discounted rates include the classic drinks package, which is beer, wine, mixed drinks, up to $10 a serving. And it also includes the surf Wi-Fi package. We also have our 4 special events. So we have a meet and greet reception. We have 2 private wine appreciation events that's hosted by Erick. And I'll show some pictures from our past events, but we've had some where we got to taste different vintages. We got to taste new releases. Erick really made it entertaining for us. And we also have that's kind of our cap at the end of the cruise. We have a food and wine pairing luncheon, and Erick hand selects wines to go with each of the courses that are served at the luncheon. So this year, Erick, do you want to talk a little bit about the library wine tasting that you did on the 2024 cruise?
On the 2024 cruise, we did across, of the library selections, we did several different ones on the whites, as well as the rosés, just to show people how fresh and beautiful the wines are. In addition to that, we did some library selections on our Bordeaux blends, and that was really fantastic. And we just really enjoyed the opportunity to share those. I am going to be doing that. One of the special things that we did on this last cruise too is that I literally bottled 2 wines in advance. So I literally just bottled these wines last July, so just a couple of months ago. But I went to the winery and we bottled 3 cases of Cab, which is our brand new Inos Cabernet Sauvignon, and we also bottled 3 cases of the Shining Star, which is our white Rhone blend. So I bottled those just for the cruise, hand labeled them and everything else, and slapped them together. And that's what we brought for the last cruise, is something special. This cruise, I am planning on doing a few port selections. So port wines that we're going to be doing some cheese pairings with, like gorgonzola cheeses, blue cheeses, and so on and so forth, just to showcase, some of the port wines. So that'll be something
Oh,
that's pretty special that we plan on doing. And who knows? I'm also going to bring some large formats as giveaways, which is what I did this last time. So we did like a lottery type drawing or a raffle drawing. And so we'll do that again. And then at the end of the cruise, any of the wines that we have left over, we will continue to raffle those off so that hopefully every person there has an equal opportunity to take home a couple of bottles of wine as a souvenir.
yeah. Now, Eric, this is pictures of our welcome reception. Didn't we have 2 whites and 2 reds that we got to enjoy at that you had brought? I think.
No,
Wasn't
it was just one white and one red. It
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah, first was I believe it was the Inos. I'm sorry, not the Inos. I apologize. It was the Shining Star, which was the white Rhone blend. And then in addition to that, I think we did the Ascendants, like a Cab Merlot. And
Yeah, it was good.
so it was,
It was a really,
yeah.
really great experience. And
And
then
one of
this
the
is one
things,
of our, oh, I'm
oh, go
sorry to
ahead.
jump on you. I was just going to say,
No, no,
I was going to ask you
I
to
was
talk
gonna
about this tasting seminar that we had.
So this particular tasting seminar, we did a rosé. We did our Messenger GSM, which was a new release at that time, and then also our Mayhem Syrah, and it was just absolutely sensational. The nice thing was it was showing they're all 3 GSMs, so an acronym for Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre. Ironically, the Syrah, I'm sorry, not Syrah, but the Messenger GSM and the Siren Rosé have a similar composition. So like a 60-30-10 blend. So 60% Mourvèdre, 30% would have been Grenache and 10% Syrah. And so I did that with the Messenger as well. Just adjusted the final adjustments, just a few percentage points. But it was really exciting to be able to try the rosé and then move into that Messenger GSM, because it kind of gives you a preview of what the harvest is going to be like. And that's the fun thing about rosés, and especially if you have a very special winery that you are fond of. The rosé kind of is a precursor of what that vintage year should be like. And this particular rosé is double gold, best in class, 96 points. It's Sunset Wine Magazine's Rosé of the Year. So we were really delighted to get those accolades, and along with other groups that found it to be equally as refreshing and bright. And then we moved into the Mayhem Syrah, again, another Rhone wine, just to show something a little bit bolder. So that was a lot of fun. And I try to make the seminars as personal as possible. Like I try to go around to each table just to introduce myself. I will tell you in advance, I'm really, really, really bad at remembering names. It's not because I don't love you. It's just that that's just not, I have a head for figures and chemistry, and names are tough for me, but I am getting better every day. And so please forgive me, but I'll always do my best. And so some of the large format bottles you'll see on the image on the right, those were giveaways that we were doing. And then on the left are the sommeliers that work on the ship, and they were just helping us out along the way. And they really made every experience just absolutely delightful. And I can't thank Celebrity enough for their hospitality and going above and beyond at every stretch of the cruise. It didn't matter if it was our wine events or just general hospitality on the ship. They're really there to make certain that everyone has the best time ever, because there's nothing better than word of mouth.
Yeah, and one of the things I liked about this was making new friends. I look at some of the people in these pictures from last time. It's like, oh yeah, we had dinner with them a couple of times. We had a lovely time. So that's our food and wine pairing luncheon. That was a wonderful experience because we got to try Erick's hand-selected wines with each course of the meal that we had, and then with your entree, he served a matching wine. So that was a fabulous experience.
Yeah, it was
So now,
really, really special.
so now that we know that the wine program is going to be extremely special, I want to talk about the itinerary, because we're gonna go on this fabulous cruise to these beautiful destinations. So let's kind of share what's there. This is an overview of the itinerary. And what's interesting is that we have the 2 sea days up front, and then we have the ports in the middle. And then we have the 2 days, sea days at the end. So our first two wine tasting events are going to take place on those sea days. So you don't have to take any time away from your island experience. And then we'll have the food and wine pairing luncheon we have the reception on embarkation day. So it's actually the fourth event. The food and wine pairing luncheon will be the 14th or the 15th. We just haven't gotten it scheduled yet. So let's talk about those beautiful ports and what there is to do. So Tortola, British Island, it's just like this beautiful natural paradise. There's all kinds of like outdoorsy activities you can do there. You can go sailing, you can do paddle boarding, snorkeling, scuba diving, rainforest hiking. The beaches are these beautiful white sand beaches, and there are some of the prettiest little places that you can take pictures. You get in the water with the fish, you'll see so many different colorful fish. It's a gorgeous place. Next up is Antigua, and I think it is one of the most scenic islands in the Caribbean. And this is actually my own picture, but this is the iconic vista. Steve has this picture as his background, and he just got a stock photo. This is my own photo that I took. And if you're from the 80s, like me, you may remember the Duran Duran video, Rio. And it was filmed on the island of Antigua. And you can see this vista when the guy is playing the saxophone. Just a little trivia there. It's full of history. Nelson's Dockyard was a British naval base during colonial times, and you can go there and learn about the men that would just, they were drunk at a bar, and all of a sudden they wake up, they're heaving hoeing on the ship, and then they got to go work in the stockyard for 2 years. It's an interesting story. Barbados, well, according to our tour guide, when we did the circle tour of Barbados, is the home of international superstar and beauty mogul Rihanna. And I can't tell you how many times this lady said, Rihanna. They're so proud of Rihanna in Barbados. But it's also the home to just some of the most beautiful beaches and snorkeling and vistas and scenery in the Caribbean. When I was there most recently, I did a snorkel trip in Carlisle Bay. That's a wonderful way to enjoy Barbados. The water is clear, there's turtles, and your diving guides, their snorkel guides, really make a point of showing you all the different fishes and pointing out different things. And if you're lucky, you might see an adorable sea turtle in Carlisle Bay. Another thing, if you're not into beaches, is the Circle Island tour. I mentioned that I had done that a couple of years ago. And there are so many different geographic areas in Barbados and different vistas. It's a lovely way to get a kind of a complete idea of what the island tour is like. So I'm sorry, I got a phone call while I'm doing the list. I meant to hang up on it. Oh, well, anyway, mahogany forest, there's the Baths of Bathsheba, botanical gardens, so much to do in Barbados. And St. Lucia, wow, look at that. Those pitons are such an icon of the island. And so Celebrity offers like a sail tour option that takes you down to this area. So you sail one way and then you drive back, or you drive down and meet the sailboat. So that's a lovely way to see the village of Soufrière and these beautiful iconic pitons. The cruise ship will dock at the other end of the island. So if you want to visit the pitons and get that iconic picture of St. Lucia, you're going to need to book a tour that will take you down there. In that area, there's also thermal spas with thermal waterfalls, mud baths. You can kayak in the pristine waters of the bay, or just stroll along a beautiful beach. St. Lucia is a gorgeous, gorgeous island. Then we have the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. And their economy used to be based on sugarcane plantations and the manufacturing of sugarcane. But they started to embrace tourism sort of in the 70s. And in 2005, it was not profitable and viable. They ceased sugarcane production. So now they're completely transformed into tourism as their main source of their economy. They have this used to be the old sugarcane track, and now they've turned it into this wonderful tourist train. That's a great way to see the island, but there's also beautiful beach resorts. There's a beach club that you can book like a day tour of. Just some wonderful things to see in St. Kitts. So that's kind of an overview really quickly of the islands. There's a lot more that you can learn, and I can help you with that. So 2 fun days at sea, those 4 ports, and then we have our final wine tasting events. Now, just as important as where you're going and who you are going with is your cruise ship and your cruise line. And nothing comes close to the way that Celebrity does it. So what makes Celebrity so special? Well, they are going to deliver an elevated cruise experience. They're going to exceed your expectations of what a premium vacation should be like, and indulge every sense and curiosity through their elevated journey. And Erick even mentioned that every aspect of what they did for us was just amazing. You'll never win a cruise any other way is their new slogan. And it's because every detail is thought of, every kind of experience is thought of. You've got the service of a smaller ship, but the variety and the excitement of a bigger one. And it has that nice hybrid feel with the Celebrity Ascent ship. Celebrity is an award-winning cruise line, and they go all over the world. And they are the only cruise line to be star rated by Forbes Travel Guide. And what that means, so their 4-star rated ships are the Ascent, the Apex, the Millennium, and the Flora. And then their recommended ships include the Edge and the Summit. And that's important because Forbes rates resorts and land-based experiences all over the world, but they also are in charge of Celebrity's hospitality training. And one of the reasons that Celebrity said, we want you to rate us and compare us to the other experiences. And Celebrity scored really well. So they are right up there with the top-notch hospitality experience worldwide. Now, who is Celebrity a good cruise ship for? Well, if you're a foodie, it's definitely good for you because they have some gourmet food. On this ship, if you did specialty dining and the 4 different dining rooms, you could actually dine in a different dining room every night. And it's good for the cultural enthusiast. This is somebody who wants to learn about the history of any place they're visiting. Maybe they're going to be in a museum. It's also good for somebody like that's a maverick. And this is the category I'd put my husband in, not only because he's watched Top Gun Maverick, I think 100 times already, but because he likes to travel on his own terms. He likes to explore on his own, check things out. Celebrity is a great cruise for that. And then somebody who wants a little pampering, the indulgent seeker, Celebrity is a great fit for. And how do they do it? They curate great destinations. Their food and drink are unmatched. They have that elevated hospitality where they are anticipating your every need. And then their ships are designed for both high energy and relaxation and wellness in all the details of the ship. So you can explore and have fun, but also the rooms are generously sized. If you just want to relax on your balcony and soak it in and restore, you can do that too. They have 4 categories of ship. We are going to be sailing on the Edge class ships, which are the biggest, newest, and I think the most spectacular versions of their ships, but they do have other versions that we have sailed many times before. And I like this slide because it just shows you all the different ways that just what makes Celebrity so special. The fun with your friends, enjoying French fries without caring about the calories, wellness, great gourmet food, and again, beautiful destinations. You can do as little or as much as you want on a Celebrity cruise. One of our favorite events is a silent disco. Erick and Sonia, did you guys do the silent disco? No, you didn't go. We did. You saw people doing silent disco.
We did. We did that.
And it's so much fun. They give you these headsets that play 3 different channels, and people are out there singing along, but there's no music playing. You just hear people singing off key and dancing and having a great time. It's one of the most fun experiences they have. But if that's not your thing, there's so many other things that you can do on Celebrity, like trivia, safe archery, dance classes, fitness classes, cooking classes. There really is, and they'll have enrichment lectures on the destination. So there's really no end to having, being entertained on Celebrity. they also have these amazing performances in the main theater with acrobats, aerialists, uh, singers, dancers. And in the theater on this ship, it costs they spent more money on the theaters on the Edge class ships than Royal Caribbean, their parent company, spent on their very first ship that they built from scratch. So obviously that's 1970s dollars versus 2024 dollars, but they really invested in the technology to make their theater on these ships just a complete showcase. It's amazing to see the shows there. Gourmet dining experience. This is the Ocean View Cafe. They have all kinds of different stations with healthy foods, not so healthy foods, a wide variety of cuisines from around the world. And they even have dedicated sommelier service in the dining rooms. And I like to say that on Celebrity, you can always do all your meals in the main dining rooms and not be disappointed with what you get. But if you really want to splurge, the specialty dining on Celebrity is just that, really special. This has the Le Voyage restaurant by Daniel Boulud, the Fine Cut Steakhouse, La Petite Chef, the rooftop garden. But Eden is the one that everybody's talking about. My daughter and her boyfriend went to Eden and they did the tasting menu. So it's a bunch of small courses. My daughter is a vegan and her boyfriend is a omnivore carnivore. So they both had completely different meals. And they both said that it was the best dining experience they've ever had in their entire life. And they are both foodies. So if you can get a reservation at Eden and you're up to trying kind of just this a little bit avant-garde dining experience, I think you would really enjoy it.
Suzanne, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
For your best overall chances to dine at one of these restaurants, how soon in advance did you make that reservation, or how soon can you make that reservation?
Steve, you might be able to tell me better. Is it, can you
Usually
make it a
90
year
days
out?
out, I think.
Oh, it's not
90
until
to
90
120
days.
days, I think, is when it's become available for reservations.
Okay.
That's great to know. So if there's one in particular that you really want to go to, since we have these wonderful sea days, that's something to definitely put a calendar reminder in for 3 months in advance, just to put your name out there in a few of them. You can always cancel, but at least this way you always have it in your hip pocket if you
Yeah.
you
We
would
can
still
do
like to
watch for
go.
it too, and we can send a note to everybody who's booked that they're available now.
The good
That'd be great.
thing, yeah, the good thing about a 10-day cruise is it's easier to get specialty dining reservations on a 10-day cruise than on a 7-day, because you have 3 more days to spread you have the same amount of people and you're spreading them out between the same amount of restaurants. So that's kind of beautiful. This is the Martini Bar, beautiful venue. They have live music here. They have the flare show. I love that. This is the pool deck. And of course, they have that avant-garde octopus sculpture. During the day, they have music and trivia and games and cornhole and lots of fun in the sun activities. The ship has this thing, it's called the Magic Carpet. It was originally designed to be the tender platform when you have to get on the little boats to go in and out of port. But they expanded on the idea and they actually made it a cantilevered platform that can be positioned in different places. It doesn't move up and down constantly. They usually have it up here as an extension of the pool deck. But if you're in a tender port, they'll lower it down to where you can get on tenders. Sometimes they have it on raw on 5 as an extension of that restaurant. But most of the time it's up here as part of the pool deck. So what do your rooms look like? So whether you're in standard balconies, concierge class, or aqua class, you're all going to be in these infinite verandas, which are really spacious. They're 243 square foot with a 42 square foot veranda. They have full-size king-size beds, not something that's a little smaller. And the bathrooms, you can look from this picture, they are really generously sized bathrooms. They're about 23% larger than the typical bathroom on most cruise ships. The nice thing is you can fold these doors behind you, lower this window down. You have your veranda area. You can open those doors, have the whole room open to the veranda. If the weather's bad, put that window up, and now you have this extra space in your cabin. It really is a unique concept. And some people have said, well, it's not a true veranda but when I've been on other ships, literally the difference between where it's connected is like just inches, because on a outside veranda, it's not that much more open than these infinite verandas. And you just really have to go from one to the other to realize that there's not that much difference. There's also suite classrooms on this ship. If you're interested in doing a suite, let me know. I can check pricing and availability. They come with premium amenities, really spacious rooms. They have their own exclusive restaurant and lounge area. Now we're going to get to our rates, and I want to talk about our group rates. So our groups have more perks. You're going to get your drinks and your Wi-Fi included. You get a refundable deposit. So, you know, this cruise is 18 months away about. Life can change, and you're going to put your $900 deposit down. And as long as you call me 90 days before the cruise embarks, when your final payment is due, and you say, I need to cancel, well, of course, I'm going to be sad that you're canceling, but I'm not going to be sad that you're not getting money back, because you're going to get your $900 back. Celebrity has a lot of different ways that you can book. And I kind of like to say that you need to have an advanced degree to understand how to book Celebrity's rate codes. And I'll raise my hand. I do. I am a master cruise counselor and an elite cruise counselor certified through the Cruise Line International Association. These are all the different ways you can book Celebrity. So the cheapest way is no perk, non-refundable. That means it's cruise only. You don't get drinks and Wi-Fi. Drinks and Wi-Fi, non-refundable. No perk, refundable deposit. And then occasionally they have these senior rates, state rates, military rates. But the best thing is that our group rate is almost always the best value. I very rarely see anything that even tops our group rate. So plus, there's a flash sale this weekend from September 6th to the 9th. You're going to save $200 per room on our veranda and concierge categories for this sailing. And now I'm going to show you a price comparison to show you why our group rates are such a good value. I know this is kind of an eye chart. This is the inventory I have available. Most of my cabins are going to be in the standard veranda at E1 and E2, all good locations, unobstructed. I do have a couple of concierge class, but sometimes people are looking at the locations and actually prefer the E1 or the E2. So if you want the concierge class, I can go over with you where it's located on the ship. You may decide to go with E1 or E2. So this is the best value. It's our group price, refundable deposit, drinks and Wi-Fi, and this is the price because it's a $200 per cabin discount. This is price per person, so we're taking $100 off per person. It's already included in these prices. So $25.95 for the concierge class, $24.65 for the veranda, and $24.28. Now we're going to compare that to the no perk rate. That's the one that's lower, and I can book you if you don't want drinks and Wi-Fi. I can book you at this rate. You can be fully part of our group. There's no problem with that. I just am going to book you at the individual rate instead of the group rate. But you don't get drinks, you don't get Wi-Fi. Okay, so your $900 is non-refundable if I book you at that rate. Now let's look at the 2-perk non-refundable rate. Look at that. Our group rates with the refundable deposit are better than those. Okay, so if you went on Celebrity's website, you said, I want 2 perks and I'll do a non-refundable deposit, this is what you're going to pay. If you say, I want 2 perks and a refundable deposit, which is comparing apples to apples, look how much more it is than our group rates. Our group rates are 2 perks, refundable deposit. So it really is a great value. And for as little as $38 per person per day, you can get the drinks and Wi-Fi and a refundable deposit over that no perk non-refundable rate. So we still have, a nice bit of inventory and good selection on the ship because we are 18 months out. If you're considering going, this is the time to book because you're going to have the best selection of cabins. And we have that flash sale going this weekend. So you're going to save another $200 off the total price of the cabin. Plus, there's more. We got an exclusive offer from Celebrity for the first 10 bookings after this webinar between now and September 19th. We're going to give those new bookings $100 onboard credit. So that's to thank you for your time at this webinar and for joining our group. We do have some
That's
other
from us,
groups.
not Celebrity.
Well, you're right. You're right. It is a special arrangement that we have exclusively through our agency. So, other group cruises that we're doing, just, I want people to know, it's not all Celebrity. We do a wide variety. We've got a couple of river cruises, and we're doing some webinars next week on the river cruises. If you're interested in that, just pop us an email and we'll send you the registration. We've got Avalon in Bordeaux, the Mecca of wine. And then we also have Ama Magna in Southeast Europe, from Bucharest to Budapest. No, other way around, Budapest to Bucharest. And we're partnering with an Arizona winery for that one. And they're up and coming winery here in Arizona and really making some good wines. And then we've also got a river cruise on the Rhine with Avalon Waterways. If you were interested in something a little more adventurous, we've got 2 ways to see Antarctica. The traditional scenic sailing way with Celebrity. We did this with a group a couple of years ago. Everybody had a great time. And then we are taking an expedition group to Antarctica on a ship that will land, and you will actually get to walk around. A small ship with 100 people on it. Obviously, there's a difference in price point for those 2 experiences. And you're paying for the ability to land on the continent with this small ship and we're doing a webinar on that one on September 11th. Iceland, one of my favorite destinations. We just got back from a month in Iceland, Greenland, and Norway. We're taking another group. We have some great pricing on veranda cabins for that. And again, you get that $200 off the pricing if you book that from September 6th to 9th. So to kind of summarize everything, we'd love for you to join us. It's March 6th of 2026. It's just a wonderful 10-night Caribbean cruise. We're going to have 4 amazing wine experiences with Erick and this wine from his winery. We're all going to make new friends and have a lot of fun hanging out with fellow wine enthusiasts. And 4 of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean we're going to visit. And we're going to have that elevated Celebrity experience. Plus, you get these 2 special offers if you book by Monday. The onboard credit goes through the 19th, but you get them both if you book by Monday. So I'm going to close it there. I'm going to go to my closing slide. Erick, I wanted to invite you to add anything.
Just to say, the thing I would like to add is just that, again, if you do book, you'll get 50% off all Ascension Cellars wines, including library wines that we have. We have an extensive library, which is really exciting. And so anything you purchase between now and the beginning of the new year will be 50% off. And then we offer specials on shipping as well. I think if you purchase a case or more, shipping's just $1.
Okay. And are you shipping right now, or are you waiting maybe till October to ship because of the
No,
hot weather?
we're shipping. The only time we don't ship are on hot days like today, but we have special shippers just for the heat season. But it's entirely up to the person that's receiving the wine if they can put in the notes when they would like to receive it, and so we can hold it for you and then ship it out overnight at their leisure.
Okay, perfect.
So
All
Erick,
right,
on that, we've got 30-some cabins already booked on this cruise. So are the people who've already booked gonna get that 50% offer?
Yep, 100%. Suzanne is going to be the gatekeeper of the discount code, and so she'll be the one emailing it out to everyone.
Awesome. I'll pull a list of everyone that's booked and send out that discount code, and I'm happy to do that. I think people are going to jump for joy, especially if they were on our last cruise and they know how good your wine is. That's going to be a happy email to send out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't thank you all enough. I mean, I really do appreciate you spending your time with me this evening. I know it's hard to get away these days, but I really do appreciate it, and truly looking forward to this holiday and getting to know everyone just a little bit better. And we're going to have so much fun. And Suzanne just goes totally out of her way to really make certain that every experience that we have, like she said, is elevated, as well as does everyone on the ship. It's just a wonderful, wonderful way to spend a holiday with friends.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to open it up to any questions anyone might have. We'll give you a second, and then if
Remember, you'll need to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
Yeah, if you want to ask a question.
Doesn't look like it. Covered it
Yeah,
in depth.
Pam, are you asking a question or just talking amongst yourselves? Okay.
Think I have any question?
Okay, no questions.
No.
Okay, I just want to remind everyone that's attended this webinar, if you have friends or family members that you think might be interested in learning more about this cruise or joining us, you will receive a recording of the link to the recording of the webinar, and you're free to share that with anybody. If they book during this special time period, they're going to get those same benefits as if they were here live. So they just have to reference the webinar, and as long as they're the first 10 bookings, we'll get it done. So any other questions? All right, well, let's go ahead and end the recording.